Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 31 Days of Dread. This is day 9, and we're talking about a movie that literally got trashed by the entire critic world, the entire film community, the entire film-going audience, and I had to sit down and watch this movie. It's called The Bye-Bye Man, and it's like an urban legend. And this is our next block. We're doing 2 urban legend movies. Both have been trashed, and this is the 31 Days of Dread. Peter, what are you doing? You are getting into movies that aren't great. Peter, you're talking about movies that aren't universally loved. Yes, and if you're new here, if you're new to AKAPAD's Audio Audacity podcast, I'm Peter A. DeLuca. I am your host. We talk movies here, and we take criticism seriously. We take film conversation and film discussion seriously. Not enough has been said about this movie, and why is that? Please subscribe and support. Look, I got plug. I want to get right into it. This movie is directed by Stacy Title. She already has a background in writing and directing. You know, she makes those mid-level movies. This movie comes out, and it just gets it gets slaughtered. It gets destroyed. Now, the funny thing is, outside of a couple scenes, we have tense moments. We have atmosphere. We have a super cool baddie, super cool monster. We have a wonderful beginning. Let me tell you, the beginning of this movie is so freaking cool. It's violent. It's scary. It connects to what happens later in the movie. Connective thread. So, got narrative. So what exactly do people hate about this movie? I didn't go into what some of these other people said, and I easily can guess what some of the criticisms are. Criticism, right? Bad acting. Criticism. Why did they do this? Criticism. This doesn't make any sense. And people will just ignore these other aspects. This is what I mean about why this podcast, why my podcast takes this seriously, because the 31 Days of Dread isn't just about great movies. The 31 Days of Dread is about these movies. Because we might be the only ones, you and me. We might be the only ones that critically look at these movies and care about it, and might want to re-explore them later. Is this movie perfect? I mean, is it like engaging? Like, you know, is it any different than like an episode of Supernatural or something we would see on the CW? Is it any different than something we get on Netflix now? Because Netflix movies now, just about, like, if we took them on average, they're CW level episode movies, you know, like Sci-Fi Channel movie type quality. So how are we rating this movie at this point? And now does this just become a movie that's trashing? You know, like that's trash worthy. Is this a movie that just becomes clickbait? I believe that. Now, in the past, you know, bad movies were explained, but they still resonated. Okay, a lot of bad movies resonated. This movie will not, even though I'm a huge fan of the minimum quality of the minimum approach to the design of the monster, of the villain. I think he looks cool. I really do. He has a skinless dog that will eat you once he approaches. I think that's cool. That's just horrible and cool and like part Hellraiser. I kind of like that mashup. Could someone come in and make a incredible Bye Bye Man movie? Someone can. Could they recalibrate and recanon the trope of saying his name to bring him? Because, that's the hook of the movie. We cannot say the guy's name. And he, like, obsessively, the monster or, like, the spirit gets into your head and makes you obsessive and makes you crazy. And you write on all the walls. Okay, these are tropes. They're nothing we haven't seen before, and they're not really special. But I think a lot of times when you see this stuff on screen, it's just fun and it's goofy, and it's still somewhat horrible because like we're dealing with the destruction of the human mind, and to me that's always frightening. That's always a little bit scary. Like, is this one of those movies you would recommend, as a must-see? No, but I think this movie paired with our next movie, The Slender Man, who equally has fantastic atmosphere and fantastically shot. The Slender Man cinematography is awesome. Let me just tell you that. I think this movie goes right in line with it. I think this movie had good music, good cinematography. It looks cool. The acting's there. I love watching a lot of these young actors and actresses go through the motions in these movies because this is something that horror like enables just through content alone and intent. What's his name? Douglas Smith is in this movie, right? That's my boy. That's who we're talking about. Douglas Smith. He's been in a lot of movies. I mean, oh my God, going all the way back to 1996 X-Files. He's been in a lot of stuff. There's a death scene in this movie that I completely love. Like, it's real, it's emotional. He's longing for it not to be true. It's a typical horror movie death scene, but he brings a lot to it, and everyone brings something to their role in this movie. And it's like, easily I could just say, Pete, you're just trying to say something positive, and you're forcing it, like square peg round hole. I do not believe that. I don't think that's true in the slightest way, because let me just explain this to you, because it's there. Like, it is what it is. Okay, you can easily dismiss a movie and move on and only focus on great, because keep in mind, what's considered the great horror movies of today: Hereditary, The Babadook. Okay, it will just House of the Devil. I completely adore House of the Devil. The Amazon Suspiria. Okay, these are considered the modern day masterpieces, but a lot of these movies are kind of open at the end. The villain wins at the end. The bad guy wins at the end, and they're a little too interpretive. This movie is what it is. You get what you get, and I like that. I like that. We go through the motions of figuring out who this guy is and what he's doing and how did they stop him. There's an anxiety connected to that. There's a longing. I love watching. I was just watching Freddy vs. Jason, or Jason vs. Freddy, and I just love in these movies. I just love when the kids are trying to figure out what's happening, and how to fix it, and they're doing all of this research, and it's just fun. I don't know. I like that, okay? And I can't be the only one, because that's a trope that has never gone away, and nor will it, because I think it rings true to us. I think we think that's what we would do in those situations. And again, people don't bring a lot of the human experience when they look at these movies and when they think about them. But look, if it was up to me, this movie cost maybe $6 or $7 million. It made 25 million. Yeah, like people never bring that up. The movie is a success, right? Like, let me double check how much this sucker made, okay, and how much it cost. Yeah, it cost maybe upwards of 7.4 million, and it grossed just about 27 million. So this movie made $20 million. Okay, that's a success, and I think the strength of it is the design and the hook of the Bye Bye Man, Douglas Smith, and the way it's shot. Okay, so the technical parts of this movie win, and we should get a number 2. Okay, I get it. Every single movie I talk about want a second one. Yeah, because that is how horror works. Horror works with iteration, with pounding away at these ideas, pun intended, to draw something out of them, to give them time to develop. Okay, the same as like within comic books and soap operas, where you have to find the voice and you have to keep going. This movie was trashed just for clickbait, and nothing good was said about it. Okay, nothing, no adulation, no love was given for it making its money back, for it kind of still having a concept that pulled people in. No, it came out and people laughed. I don't like that. That's not my cup of tea. That's not how we do things at AKAPAD's Audio Audacity podcast. Quick side note, if you see me on social media, say something. It's AKAPAD on Twitter, AKAPAD13 Instagram and Facebook, AKAPAD on Snapchat. Leave a review. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know. I think this movie got unfair treatment. I think it's a fun movie. I think with a six-pack, with some spiked seltzer, with some edibles, you would love this movie. Rock and roll. Peter A. DeLuca signing out. 31 Days of Dread. Until tomorrow, day 10. It's the Slender Man, and then we're going to go into werewolves. I love you, and goodbye.